Good afternoon and welcome to Joy Newsroom with me, Emma Davis. As residents in the Volta region continue to battle for their lives and salvage their properties from the dam spillage, waterborne diseases have already been detected just 2 days into screening victims of the flood in Mepe. A 35-year-old single mother of 3, Benedicta Atigodo, who has been displaced by floodwaters in Mepe in the North Tongu district of the Volta region, says she fears she could soon become a street person after the floodwaters recede. Owners of wigs, cosmetics and jewelry at Makola in Accra are counting their losses as several hair products and jewelry have been destroyed in a fire that gutted their shops. And later in the bulletin, gridlock on the Malam-Kaswa highway as angry motorists stormed the streets protesting the poor nature of roads in the area. We have details for you. Welcome, my name is Emma Davis. Waterborne diseases have already been detected just 2 days into screening victims of the flood in Mepe. This came up during a special screening exercise by the Ghana Medical Association, the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, in a bid to prevent potential health crises across the 8 inundated districts. This focus is on an estimated 26,000 flood victims. My colleague Carlos Kaloni is on site engaging with flood victims and medical personnel.
Nurses and Midwives Association, together with the Ghana Medical Association, have teamed up here to provide medical relief to affected flood victims here in Mepe, in the North Tongue district of the Volta region. And as you can see, screening is ongoing here, treatment is ongoing. There are a number of residents here who are actually receiving medical attention from the Ghana Medical Association in conjunction with the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. And so we want to speak to a few of them to understand their story, to see why they are here and what kind of medical attention they are receiving as part of the arrangement to bring relief to flood victims here in the North Tongue district of the Volta region. Nukata na la fia.
Mava atikarope. Ale no jo sie do mi fon job mi ola mo katagba le mi eve eta o va bina na mi antika be mi akponse.
Ta emi va fiade leke eganya do o mi nam free lo alo leke nya dodoa.
Badakula tike na mi free. I'm like for her more.
So I was just asking her why she's here, and she's been saying that due to the stress they went through with the flood situation, most of them have issues with their health, and so they are here to actually get some medical attention. And I asked her earlier whether they are paying for these services, and to her she said no, these services are being provided free of charge here at one of the centers, PPAG center here in Mepe. And so ta odo kwa
Badakuye udongpo.
Ta
atikamaho.
Ta obanuka le fudem na via.
Badaku BP la fudanu. Afi nyala makatala nyivo.
Ta fifia wana atika.
Wa na matika.
Ke at the government hospital ha yi enu ajofia.
Onyema yiyo.
Wo national health insurance ela shiwa lo abu.
Kula sinye. Ela sinye tanyeli.
Okay. Okay, so she's been telling us that she still has a national health insurance and she's just waiting for her medication because she's been diagnosed of high blood pressure. There are a few others here that we'll try to speak to understand what is really wrong with them. Madam, ta oha kayena bafia.
Enya fifi like mava, senya mava atika wapo. Look mava duoma. No vinyala be mava mava.
Okay. So she's not here for medical attention, but there are a few others that are here. Mama, I'm
about to go. If you're traveling, no, what you can have.
No, I will for them now. Here.
Baby. After you to stroke, food don't come over.
Okay. So she says she's been also diagnosed of high blood pressure, and she has been given some medication, and she's just waiting in the queue to be served with that particular medication. Okay. So she's actually confirming that the service being delivered here by the Ghana Medical Association as well as the Ghana Registered Nurses Association is totally free of charge. So I have this lady here to also talk to us. Give us your name. Okay, so why are you also here?
BP.
So has it gone now because of the flood situation? What happened to your house? Tell us.
Oh, the house here na
Okay, so that's the story of Vicencio. And as you can see, there are a number of people here who are actually receiving medical attention. I have this gentleman here to also share his story with us. And you appear to be happy. I mean, you don't have any medical situation. What's your name? Tell us why you're here.
My name is Adika Achu. I'm calling from Volta region. But because of the rain season, that's why we are here now. But we have so many diseases in the water, so we came here to test ourselves, to see doctor to explain something to us. That's why we are here.
Okay, so when you come, I mean, now that you're here, are you paying for these services?
No payment.
Have you
they say it's free.
Okay.
So it's general.
So I see you holding a piece of paper. What is it? What are they telling you?
But now, before I will go and see the doctor, then you explain the
medical challenge that you have. Yeah. Okay, so that's your name again?
My name is Adika.
Adika's issue there is part of those who are at this particular center at PPAG receiving medical attention from the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association.
35-year-old single mother of 3, Benedicta Atigodo, who has been displaced by flood waters in Mepe in the North Tongu district of the Volta region, says she fears she could soon become a street person after the flood waters recede. Benedicta, a professional hairdresser, not only lost her personal belongings to the flood, but also her hair salon, which is her family's main source of sustenance. Her current situation makes it exceedingly challenging for providing for her children, as it has become a problem that she's not able to provide a stable income. Again, my colleague Carlos Caloni filed this report.
Is the meal for 4 people, she herself and 3 of her kids. Clearly, this cannot suffice, but according to her, it's the only option, and this is the only meal for the entire day. There was no breakfast. This is going to serve as breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
This food is for myself and my 3 children. It is not enough, but we are managing it because I do not have any support from anyone.
How has this flood situation like a chiagblanu?
Oh, hairdresser menu. Ta eshe konye da wonu piokoju de me hai ho ha filemeta eshe chokwe me valegi. Nyenu obu ta ekio kumoko vagie. Okay.
So she's basically saying that everything is gone. The things we see here are the very few items she could salvage. And these are the items she's using to take care of the 3 kids that she has. She is a professional hairdresser, but everything is gone.
They share relief items at this camp, but sometimes we queue without getting any. We like banku, so whenever I have some funds, I buy cassava dough to prepare for the family. This is where we sleep. These people helped us with some mats, and that's what we sleep on now. I keep asking myself, how do I raise money to buy all hairdressing equipment to bounce back? Where I am now, if I fall sick, money to go to the hospital is an issue because we are extremely poor. I come from a poor home.
This is Benedicta's family. Her firstborn is here. The secondborn is here. And this is the third. She's a single mother who has been displaced by this flood situation here in Mepe. Taking care of these kids has become Benedicta's biggest challenge. Her fear is where to move these kids to, because she has lost everything, including where she sleeps.
The first one is 13 years. My second child is 8. And the last one is a little over 2 years. I worry a lot about their future. I'm even considering giving the elderly one to stay with someone.
Benedicta and her 3 kids sleep in this tent for now. And her house has been destroyed in the flood waters. She's thus calling for assistance.
I need help from anyone watching me now because I have no one to rely on. I survive through my own efforts. My salon is gone. My rented room is also flooded. So if the soldiers dismantle this tent, I have no place to go to.
She's thus calling on authorities and benevolent organizations to extend a helping hand to her. Carlos Caloni, Joy News.
Director for International Relations for the Opposition National Democratic Congress, Alexander Segbefia, says the failure of the engineers of the Volta River Authority to communicate urgently to the people of the Volta region is the major cause of the havoc and damage of the spillage of the Akosombo Dam. Speaking on a news analysis show, Alex Segbefia indicated that the engineers of the project should have anticipated the outcome of the spillage and communicated it to the people urgently for them to be evacuated.
The first problem was lack of communication, or the urgency of the communication. You needed to let people know that this was coming in a way where they would have been evacuated in a timely fashion. What we should be talking about now is, Kwesi and Yao were so stubborn, they didn't leave. So there's one family here that we didn't get. Now we have to take boats and go and bring them. No, that's not what is happening. The whole area, everybody seemed to have remained. So there wasn't really, for me, a communication strategy that ensured that people would leave the area.
But as we engage them shortly, they seek to say that, and the people also confirm that there had been engagement starting sometime, was it in May or June, of sensitization, all through to the point where they began to open the spillways.
This is where I'm saying that I don't say there's no communication. I'm saying the level of urgency was non-existent. Why? In the past, let's start with Akosombo Dam. First, they had 4 turbines. Now, with the refits and retrofitting, they have 6. 2, in the past, when we've had to open, you open 2, sometimes 3 slipways for it to go. In that order, in terms of the turbines. This time, they had to open all 6. So we are in uncharted territory, but you also know that this is going to be worse than anything we have done in the past. So the urgency of communication becomes a matter of norm. You should have gone in there and said, we are coming to enter, there's going to be flooding, move out. Move your things. Even if it meant getting in touch with NADMO and the government to bring in security agencies to literally get people out. But to just say you're going on radio and telling people, MPs didn't know about this. Chiefs didn't know about it. So what, even though there's communication out there, to what extent and to what level? Because not that it hasn't happened in the past. It has happened. But when you know you're going to open all, and it's going to run for a period. So now it's been open since the 15th of September. It's still not closed. And depending, the rainfall doesn't even have to be in the area. These are tributaries where if there's still rain falling, the water is still going to be coming down.
Deputy Chief Executive Officer in charge of engineering and operations at the VRE, Edward Eko Obinkenzo, in response indicated that the Volta River Authority communicated to the residents within the area, but they remain adamant and ignorant.
Our EPP protocols, when we know that we are going to spell, we'll communicate through all the agencies and through to the district assembly. The district assembly is the administrative head in the district. So definitely they'll communicate with the people in the community that this is coming. This is what VRE has alerted us. NADMO and Co will also know, because NADMO is part of the district assembly structure. They also will be aware that this amount of water will be coming in. I would say human beings sometimes will say, well, let's wait and see. We won't fault them. As I would say, last year we sent out notice that we may spill. When we tracked the chart and the amount of water coming towards September, we said, look, the amount of water and the predictions will not be as expected. So we didn't spill. We didn't open the gate at all. So maybe at the back of their mind, last year they said they didn't spill. This year they started spilling small quantities. Maybe they will not get to the huge volume. So let's wait and see. The travel time of the water from Akosombo Akuse to maybe the communities, maybe about 24 to 48 hours. So you may be taken unawares if you are not ready to move when you saw those small volumes coming and you see the inundation increasing and you want to wait. You
have had to spill this dam many times over the period, right?
Yes.
The Member of Parliament for North Tone constituency, Samuel Okujato Ablakwa, is this afternoon demanding the payment of compensation from the Volta River Authority over the flooding incident that has caused havoc in several parts of the Volta, Eastern and Greater Accra regions. The MP, whose constituency is one of the worst hit, reveals it is a disappointment that the VRA is only interested in providing relief items when people's livelihoods have been wiped out by the floods, which have come out about due to the actions of VRA. He has been speaking on a news analysis show, Newsfile.
We are also really passionate about a permanent solution. We can't continue to be, paying this price. This is a sacrifice we have to carry so that all of us will have electricity. The entire country will be powered. We can industrialize. We can transform our society. But a few cannot continue after giving up their land.
Everybody's choosy about something. It might be your favorite snack.
2 scoops of Rocky Road, please.
Your style.
Those earrings look amazing on you.
Or the things you like to do with your best friend. You can be choosy when it comes to getting a COVID-19 vaccine, too. If you're thinking about getting an updated vaccine, there's more than one type available. You can find out more at WeDoVaccines.com. This message was brought to you by Novavax.
And not even having been fully compensated, continue to be suffering these floods in this manner. And VRA people think it's nice, it's predictable, it's going according to their plan and all of those. things they are saying. So we are demanding an urgent engineering solution. We believe that modern engineering should allow for these excess water to be rechanneled through tunnels and be used for something else, irrigation, agriculture, other useful things.
At least the VRA budgeted, is it 20 million, he says, for this. That 20 million can do something going forward, correct?
Again, something, let me tell you that I'm disappointed that VRA is only talking about relief items now and 20 million. We are talking about resettlement and compensation. VRA should be told in very clear language that they will not be allowed to get away with it. We demand full compensation.
Do you know?
We have already put our lawyers on standby. We will bring class action if we do not hear of a comprehensive plan to compensate all of my victims, all of these Ghanaians who do not deserve what they have been put through. And that notice must go clear to VRA. Do you know? Something. Just a second.
Yes.
We are filing a motion. Yesterday, the minority leader announced this in Togakope when they came to do their presentation. We will be filing a motion demanding an independent parliamentary inquiry into this whole affair. And so these are not matters that we are just going to take the VRA's word for it.
But speaking on the same show, Deputy CEO of VRA in charge of engineering and operations, Edward Obing Kenzo, says VRA's immediate preoccupation is to ensure that no life is lost.
With the EPP plan, the paramount is to make sure lives are saved. That was the paramount issue, to make sure we save lives. So far as I said, no life is lost. Aftermath, whatever to discuss will be discussed. The agencies being referred to were all on the ground. The military were informed. All of them were informed. It was not NAGBO responsibility to inform the military. We sent letters to all these agencies. They were on the ground. Relief item got to the community the day we opened the gate to discharge 183,000 cubic feet per second. The next day, relief items were in about all the districts being distributed. We won't say that everything is as it's supposed to be and everything is so good as it is, but we think that as the situation that we find ourselves in, the life of the people that have been affected is what we are really concentrating on to make sure.
Away from the Akosomo Dam spillage, owners of wigs, cosmetics and jewelry at Makola in Accra are counting their losses as several hair products and jewelry have been destroyed in a fire that gutted their shops. The incident occurred on Friday evening, and it took the efforts of the fire service personnel stationed in and around Makola to douse the fire. The fire is believed to have caused severe destruction to several shops, but for the timely intervention of the Ghana National Fire Service, the fire would have affected some parts of Accra due to its nearness to the electricity company of Ghana substation. Speaking to Joy News, Deputy Director of Operations of the Ghana National Fire Service, Kofi Forson, explained his team was able to salvage over 2,000 containers and makeshift structures whilst preventing the fire from extending due to the explosive nature of the products.
About 200 containers, including makeshift structures, got burnt, including their contents, and we were able to salvage over 2,000 containers, including makeshift, and then again the ECG substation here, we were able to salvage it, and that is what we've been able to do. In all, we deployed 9 firefighting appliances and then 1 RTC equipment pickup to enable us to bring this fire under control and totally extinguished at 0:26 hours this morning. So far, we are still conducting further investigation because when our men got here, the fire has reached its fully developed stage. In other words, it has gone beyond certain limits. That is why they quickly deploy multiple pumps. So we are still doing further investigation to unravel the cause of fire. The place is congested. Accessibility was a problem to us. The makeshift pump has been placed alongside the alleys. The alleys are meant for people to use, so that in case of any emergency, we can also access it and get to the seat of the fire as early as possible. So it was a challenge.
Greater Accra Regional Commander of the Ghana National Fire Service, Roberta Agri-Ganson, indicated that providing emergency illumination at exit points helped the firemen to navigate their ways during fire emergencies, hence quenching the fire quickly.
What I would want to add is that looking at the hour of the day that the fire started, it is very important for us to have some emergency lights on the route of escape, so that should there be any incident of such nature, at least there can be some form of illumination for the firemen to work with. So we are appealing to the facility owners to install emergency lights on all the routes of escape for safe movement, safe evacuation in times of any emergency.
A trader, Vida Into, recounts her experience and the damage caused by the fire to her goods and that of her friends.
My name is Makola Fire I was called at 3 a.m. by my friend that there are reports of the fire outbreak in the market. We therefore rushed here and we are witnessing the aftermath. Most of our friends are reporting huge monetary losses, and also goods. I saw chains and my sister's watches, but my sister is recording losses as a result of the fire.
Ever since the Wager Dam was built, the Ghana Water Company has been spilling water even up until now. This is to prevent water from, exceeding its maximum limit. However, residents who live within the buffer zone of the spillage remain resolute in living in the zone amidst the numerous dangerous situations associated with it. Helen Nakai Ai has more in this report.
Residents living downstream of the Wager Dam continue to live in fear following the spillage of the dam. Over the years, residents have been moved out of their homes when the dam is spilled and only return after the floods recede. With time, residents have grown indifferent about the consequences of having to live within the buffer zone of the Wager spillage. A resident of Tetegu, a suburb of Wager community, says the only reason why they still live close to the stream is because they do not have money to relocate.
The flood has destroyed a lot of our belongings. I work at Pambros, and it affected my workplace as well. If it becomes unavoidable, I will find a place to relocate to, but I have no plans for now. Everything has to do with money.
Many residents say although the dam floods their rooms and destroys their properties, moving out is not an option now because they are cash strapped. Residents are calling on government to permanently relocate them.
There is nowhere to relocate to. When the flood water increases, it enters our homes. It destroys a lot of things. The government needs to come to our aid. We will relocate if government relocates us.
Stanley Mate is the public relations officer of the Ghana Water Company Limited. He explains the inevitable need for spillage to protect the integrity of the dam.
Architecture of every dam is such that it needs to have a spill gate. The objective and the wisdom behind the spill gate is that no matter the depth and size of the dam, it will definitely get full at a point. And when it gets full, the excess water will have to be spilled away. We need to operate at a certain level. The dam has a maximum operating level around 48 feet. Beyond 46 feet, 76.5 to 47 feet, we need to expel the excess water, because we can't wait for it to get to the maximum operating level. So what we do is that during the rainy season, or at the onset of the rainy season, we start spilling when we see a steady rise in the level. So let's say from 45 to 45.5 feet, we'll start with minimal spillage. Okay, and then when the rains begin, then we see the levels keep still rising. Then we'll also open another gate. So we'll start with 1 gate, 2 gates, 3 gates, 4 gates, and 5 gates, depending on the level. We inform them prior to every spillage. But then the thing is, when anything is to happen, when there's any unforeseen circumstances, okay, whether be it in the afternoon, evening, or at night, we won't wait to compromise on integrity of the dam. We will start spilling. So there are 2 ways. We go by our standard operating procedures, but if anything untoward is to happen, anything unexpected, anything unforeseen, we can't be waiting, okay, to go around and informing people before we start spilling. We'll start spilling immediately.
The communications director of NATMO, George Aisi, says measures are being put in place to permanently find long-lasting solutions to the flooding problems in the Wager community.
Once you don't have an alternative place for them, it's going to be difficult. You are telling them to live there, but they find another place on their own. And that is difficult, that is difficult. So we'll continue to engage and see how we can resolve it. If they are there, what is the alternative way to get the water to move without causing havoc? People have also called for a permanent estuary because any time they go to open up the place, the estuary, and the water flows in, it doesn't inundate them. You get it? And so the water 2 days, 3 days is gone and they are safe. However, if the place is silted and the spillage is done, then, it gets into the communities and they begin to bear the brunt. And so they think if we can have a permanent estuary, and this is a capital intensive something. So what it means, I have my doubts if the assembly on its own can do that. So if Ghana Water comes in, and then government comes in through the Ministry of Works and Housing, then a permanent solution can be found to that, because almost every year there's spillage done because of the water levels at Wager.
While authorities contemplate when to permanently solve the problem, residents are worried about the next flood. Helen Nakai Ayi's report for Joy News.
In the 4th Industrial Revolution in Ghana, advancing the study of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics will enable Ghana to steer all-round economic growth and progress. STEM education will inculcate innovative skills in students to develop business and commercial ideas. Director of Innovations at the National Entrepreneurship Innovation Program, David Ofori, is of the view that championing STEM will create more entrepreneurs and innovators. There's more in this report.
The Director of Innovations at the NEIP was speaking at the Zone 2 contest of the National Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics Project Competition dubbed STEM Innovation.
Now we're in an era of job creation and not job seeking. And that's why it's important that STEM innovation goes all the way to high schools, because that's where we are forming our habits, we are forming our opinions, we are building our character. Where we have started this now, it's perfect, because now our young brothers and sisters can begin to form in their minds exactly where they are going, and that can help with the agenda of job creation and not job seeking.
The Zone 2 STEM innovation comprised over 37 qualifying senior high, technical and vocational education training institutions and senior high technical schools from the Bono, Ahafo and the Ashanti regions. The competing schools showcased built from scratch climate and sustainable agriculture friendly, creative and innovative projects. The participants are challenged to develop STEM projects on the topics in the areas of urban gardening, clean water and flexible use of electricity. Judge and STEM educator Bernard Amoako indicates the competition, which is in its second edition, will harness creative and innovative potentials of students to drive socio-economic development.
Now the issue here is that we've been talking about renewable energy, looking for new sources of energy, but we have not considered the fact that while we are looking for this, at the same time, the gadgets in which we use in our homes are increasing. How well are we able to innovate or come up with innovations that will help us in such a way that the little energy we have will be sustainable for all? And so what we are looking out for is new innovations, where in today's generation we want students, where the knowledge that they've been acquired from school, we want them to use that to create their own jobs, rather than coming out of school and looking out to government institutions and corporate organizations for jobs. By the time some of them will come out of school, they have innovative ideas that is workable, that will solve national and global issues.
The STEM Innovation Competition is an initiative of the Free SHS Secretariat. This year's edition is themed Future-Proofing Socio-Economic Development in Ghana.
So we are having our urban garden projects over here. So here we are having our aquaponic system, which comprises of the aquaculture and the hydroponic system. Hydroponic simply means the growing of plants without any soil.
Reporting for Joy News, Clinton Yeboah.
You're still watching the Joy Newsroom with me, Emma Davis. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Alfred, silver iodide.
You're right.
Mark your
your calendars, set reminders, and get ready for the academic showdown of the year. The 2023 National Science and Maths Quiz. It's time for the brightest young minds in Ghana to battle it out for academic supremacy. Expect mind-bending equations, heart-pounding moments, and nail-biting suspense as the best schools go head-to-head. Who will emerge the ultimate champions and claim the prestigious trophy? Catch the action on TV, radio, and online starting 6th to 24th October 2023.
This October 20th to 11th of November. The African Football League. Who is going to be crowned Africa's Champion of Champions and take the lion's share of the 14.4 million prize money? Catch all the games streaming at www.AFL Africa and on FIFA Plus. The African Football League. Our game, our home. Now let's shine together.
Welcome. The new Patriotic Party chairman of the Triponi constituency in the Northeast region, Suleimana Aliyu, has forewarned the party will lose the 2024 general election if government does not address the challenge of poor road conditions and transportation system in the area. According to him, the poor state of the road network as well as the general lack of development have generated and continue to fuel public anger against the party as well as the government in the constituency. The chairman was speaking to Joy News during communal work, which he organized to fix the unmotorable portions of the Yendi Triponi Road. Correspondent Elias Tanko has more in this report.
Campaign promises of the new Patriotic Party to the chiefs and people of the Triponi district in both the 2016 and 20 elections was a pledge to fix the poor road conditions and transportation system. The Triponi district, with an area size of approximately 1,080 kilometers square, has none of its roads in good shape, including in particular the four major roads connecting the district to other parts of the country, namely the Triponi Yendi Road, Triponi Saboba Road, Triponi Bunkpurgu Road, and Triponi Wanjuga Sansan Mongu Road. Authorities say a poor road infrastructure in the district remains the most pressing worry for the residents. A situation has hampered the movement of goods and public services, with the district and its residents often cut off from the rest of the country in rainy seasons. Despite being a traditional NDC stronghold, a majority of residents were convinced by the promise of the new Patriotic Party and voted massively to retain President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in 2020. However, 7 years into the MPP administration, the residents say the promise to fix the roads and many more remain unfulfilled, whilst the condition of the roads has gone from bad to worse. The residents are unhappy and demand the immediate fulfillment of the promise.
But they don't mind us. We are here with our bicycles, our motorbike. Anytime we are passing here, we are facing it. The time they'll come and stand here, urging us to vote for them. And we wouldn't say anything because that is our obligation to vote for them. When we vote for you, we also do what they need for.
Our market women, farmers, and the users of these road suffers.
I mean, do you think that the people of this area have been neglected?
We feel so. We feel we've been neglected because that is why the youth have decided to take their own opinion to be doing that work. Because all the efforts to the government, to our stakeholders, have all been in vain.
Strongly, I think yes, it's true. They've been neglected in terms of road construction. In 2024 elections, the good people of Triponi, because it's a topic that they've been saying every Brothers Day. They've been saying that, look, 2024 election is going to be issues on their roads. If their roads are not constructed, the chances of the party is very, very low.
The Chirpone-Wapule-Yendi Road is by far the busiest road in the district, connecting it to Yendi and other eastern corridor towns and further to Tamale. It also links the country to the Republic of Togo. The road was under construction during the 2020 electioneering period. However, the contractor demobilized and vacated the site immediately after the elections were over. Now riddled with potholes and what could qualify as gullies, portions of the road have been washed away with some bridges damaged by torrential rain, which has rendered the road unmotorable and made traveling on the road a Herculean task. As agitations are mounting against the government over the failed promise, a party chairman in the constituency organized and led a communal work to put the road in shape to reduce the plight of motorists. Speaking to Joy News, the chairman, Suleimana Aliu, explained why he decided to lead the communal work on the road.
People bring complaints to me every blessed day because it is my government that is in power. And that is why, in collaboration with stakeholders, chiefs, or other unions within the district, we decided to come out today to gravel some part of the road. As the chairman for the New Patriotic Party, the NPP in Tripoli, I have to do that. I have to lead the people to gravel some part of this road because what people say about the road and my government is unpleasant to me.
He further cautioned the party will lose the election in the constituency if the government failed to fix the roads as promised.
I have personally informed the regional minister, the regional chairman, to help me push this to the national level, and hopefully something will come out positive for us. And I'm happy today that the regional minister, massive work ongoing by the community members.
From Chirpone, Ilyasu Tanko, reporting for Joy News.
Now, child rights organization Challenging Heights wants government to adequately resource the anti-human trafficking unit of the Ghana Police Service to enable them fight against child trafficking in the country. According to the organization, the gains made in the fight against child trafficking risk being lost because of inadequate financing to the institutions. The organization made the call when they donated some resources to the anti-human trafficking unit of the Ghana Police Service. There is more in this report.
According to Challenging Heights, the anti-human trafficking unit of the Ghana Police Service has done a yeoman's job over the years. But what the unit requires in order to sustain the gains made are resources. Director of Programs at Challenging Heights, Amos Derek Buffer, says the government must step up its game to enable the institutions deliver its mandate smoothly.
We have, over the past 18 years, contributed to the successful rescue, rehabilitation and reintegration of over 1,800 children and provided support for over 1,000 families. These successes will never have materialized without the support of some key state institutions whom we work with closely. One of these institutions is the Anti-Human Trafficking Unit of the Ghana Police Service, who are here with us today. We want to commend them highly for their commitment and leadership in the fight against child trafficking and modern slavery in the country. Challenging Heights is making a donation, which we will describe as our widow's mite, to support their operations. The items donated include 3 air conditioners, 2 refrigerators, 3 32-inch television sets, and 1 Yamaha motorbike. We wish to take this opportunity to urge the government of Ghana to adequately resource state institutions leading the fight against child trafficking, child labor, and modern slavery in the country. We note that Ghana has made modest gains in the fight against child trafficking, child labor, and modern slavery, as per the 2023 Global Slavery Index and the 2023 Trafficking in Persons Report. However, these gains risk being lost in the face of national and global challenges. highlighting the need to adequately resource key state institutions such as the Anti-Human Trafficking Unit of the Ghana Police Service, the Human Trafficking Secretariat of the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, the Department of Social Welfare, and the Child Labor Unit in order to sustain and build on the gains made so far.
Director of the Anti-Human Trafficking Unit of the Ghana Police Service has also been enumerating some of the successes chalked by his outfit and called for more support to enable them do their job efficiently.
I wish to express the gratitude of the Ghana Police Service and, for that matter, the Criminal Investigation Department to Challenging Heights for this wonderful presentation. We are by this also calling on other institutions, other NGOs, other corporate organizations, individuals who also come and support the Anti-Human Trafficking Unit to be able to deliver on this mandate. As we are all aware, human trafficking, and for that matter, child trafficking, is a criminal offense. And it has been criminalized by the Human Trafficking Law, Act 694, which was promulgated in 2005. And the minimum sanction or the minimum punishment for people who are found guilty of that offense is 5 years, and the maximum is 25 years. We have had instances where individuals who were found to have committed such offenses been sentenced to 18 years and then 16 years respectively. It happened in 2020. So it means that if you commit that offense, irrespective of the relationship between you and the victim, you can be prosecuted.
Challenging Heights says it will continue to support the law enforcement agencies and other partners to enable them fight child trafficking in the country.
The local government service has begun piloting a project in 9 metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies aimed at a voluntary local review of the Sustainable Development Goals. Head of the local service, Dr. Nana Atto Alpha, says the project is to help facilitate the localization of strategies in meeting the Sustainable Development Goals. There's more in this report.
The project's pilot phase, according to the head of the local government service, seeks to evaluate the feasibility and efficacy of implementing localized approaches to achieve the SDGs within the unique context of the respective metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies. Dr. Atuata emphasized the importance of engaging local communities in sustainable development efforts, underscoring the role of grassroots participation in driving meaningful and impactful change.
It's about strengthening and enhancing SDGs locally. In other words, we have 17 SDGs. You take SDG 1, for instance, leave no one behind, ending poverty. Locally, how are we adapting to this SDG 1 in what we do in our MMDAs regarding our annual development plans, regarding the performance contracts that assemblies sign? How do we link to the achievement of these SDGs? That is how this project began from my office and Engagement Global in Germany, financed by BMZ, that's the German Ministry of Economic Development, and devised DIFU. DIFU is a German Institute for Urban Affairs, implementing it. We are starting with 9 MMDs as pilot, like I said, 3 metro, 3 municipal, and 3 district. And Commander Negua Brim happened to be one of the 3 municipalities selected. And so the German team is here. We've done virtual meetings with them within the last 1 year. Now is the face-to-face, trying to look at the Ghana situation vis-a-vis that of the German situation.
Service Agency Communities in Outward Engagement Global, Sebastian Olmeyer, underscored the importance of the project.
That you take your time to work together with us on this specific topic, which are the SDGs, and how you in Elmina KEEA Assembly may find possibilities and opportunities and tools to localize them even more. The SDGs are already localized in KEEA. You already started years ago. So the SDGs are new. The package is new. But in fact, the operations you have here on the ground, they are already a mirror and they are already reflecting different actions that are in fact SDG localizing actions. So what we do with VLRs that already were introduced here is to point even more where...
And now a special motorcycle weather report from Progressive.
And today expect mostly sunny conditions with a high on life that can only come from cruising down the road on two wheels. Kids will wave, dogs will bark, and cyclists in padded shorts will instantly regret their chosen mode of transportation. Whereas you, on the other hand, will look super duper cool. Back to you in the studio.
This has been a special motorcycle weather report from Progressive, where every day's a beautiful day to ride with coverage from America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Get a quote today and see what you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Are the linkages between your actions and SDGs in order to be more held accountable here at KEEA?
Municipal Chief Executive for the Commander at Naigua for Ebrim Municipality, Solomon Ebuapia, indicated how welcoming the idea is and says they will collaborate to build the necessary linkages to ensure the SDGs are achieved.
Here is a fishing community. We are talking about the blue economy. The blue economy is simple talk about our seas and our water bodies. We have the sea here. How best the fishermen adopt the best fishing practices. We are talking about life on the land. We are talking about the green economy, our environment. How are we protecting our environment for the generation and generation yet unborn? So for me, it's a very key that all of us put our hands on the deck to make sure that we work together with other global partners to make sure that we bring life back to our people.
The local government service says its commitment is to initiate the project to reflect a proactive approach to incorporating sustainable development practices at the local level, thereby contributing to the broader national agenda of achieving the SDGs.
If you missed the topical issues for this week, my colleague Hannah Odame put together this wrap.
At least 26,000 people in the Volta, Eastern and part of the Greater Accra regions remain displaced as floods devastated their homes and destroyed their property.
Some of the ladies, they are in their menses, and how they bath, change themselves, nothing. They can't do anything, so maybe they'll be in one part. As I'm talking to you now, me myself, I'm also a victim.
North Town MP Samuel Okujato Ablakwa asked the president to declare a state of emergency.
I would just want to use this opportunity to appeal to the president to declare a state of emergency. Once that declaration is done, we will see renewed urgency. We will see national mobilization of resources, and we are also going to get international attention.
The Assemblies of God Ghana reiterated that call.
This catastrophe of unprecedented proportions calls for a response of unparalleled urgency.
And the independent presidential candidate, Alan Chiramatin.
My brothers and sisters in the 23 communities, and also to express our own grief and sympathies. I mean, to have tens and thousands a year, almost about 40,000 people have been affected by this incident. This is a very serious situation, and I'm sure that government is taking the necessary steps to deal with this emergency. I'd like to commend the district chief executive and his team, and also the leadership and members of NADMO for the work that they've already done.
But government said that was not needed for now.
I don't think that is something that is considered at the moment.
NADMO, meanwhile, revealed the situation was overwhelming.
We have close to 20,000 completely displaced who are staying with friends and family as we speak.
When the president visited the affected communities, this is what he said.
When something like this happens and government acts, government is acting for Ghanaians, all Ghanaians. I came here because Ghanaians are having difficulties and are suffering.
With lack of basic amenities, residents resorted to using contaminated water.
The water is highly polluted.
They have to come to our aid.
This caused fear of an outbreak of disease.
We need to drink. We need to bath. We need to wash. We need to cook. What are we going to use for all those kind of activities? It is a hindrance to us.
The overflow from the Akosombo Dam spillage also affected the Bono East, Savannah, and the northern regions.
I'm now going to other people's homes for polythene bags to cover my properties. If it rains, I would have to seek shelter from another individual's home.
The Volta River Authority assured it will continue to assist those affected.
So far, we haven't lost any life. So I would say that it is also because we had to rehearse the EPP, and fortunately, they also acted in the right way.
The resignation of Duncan Williams and Eastwood Anaba from the National Cathedral Board renewed calls for a forensic audit on the project.
Let me be honest with you that in an ideal situation, the board should be dissolved and we should be having a full-scale probe. There should be a forensic audit in the activities of the National Cathedral.
Listen to what retired senior police officer COP Alex George Mensah said about that leaked tape purported to oust the IGP.
On that note, we end Joy Newsroom with me, Emma Davis.